Alright, so if you're a second-gen CRV owner, this is probably a very familiar sight to you. A floppy, worn-out belt that does not like to retract. How do we solve this? Well, I'm going to show you. So most people might think that the solution is to do something with the retractor or clean the belts, but the issue is that the belts warp with use. And these things are, 20 years old now. So you can clean it all you want, but the point is, they're just stretched out, they're dirty. I mean, you can feel like bubbles and rivets and stuff. So the solution is to get them, not brand new ones. Maybe you can go to a junkyard and find ones that are in better shape, but the solution really is just get them re-webbed. So the answer is very simple. I got this box in the mail today, pardon my workspace. And in this are my replacement, rebuilt, re-webbed seat belts. And I've already opened this up once, obviously, because I could not look at it. And let me show you what I did. So I bought a set of used seat belts from somebody else, and then sent them off to Seatbelt Planet and got them what's called re-webbed, as they call it. So as long as your retractor's in good shape and that it hasn't been blown from an accident, they can literally just take them apart and they re-web them with a color or design of your choice. Now I chose a color that was discontinued. I've had them do my belts before in my Nismo that were all flame red, and since this is more of a family vehicle, I wanted something that wasn't going to get as dirty as quickly. So I went with black with the red stripe, which they said they're almost out of this stuff, so I kind of got the last batch. But everything is done. You just have to reinstall them. You don't have to get a second pair either. You can literally just take yours out and send it to them, and 7 to 10 days later you get them back, if you can be without your vehicle for a while. I just thought it was easier to get another set off somebody on Marketplace. So now we're going to take out the old ones and we're going to send these in, or not send these in, sorry, we're going to install them. All right, so we're going to do the passenger side first. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the seat forward and slide it forward as far as you can so you can get to everything. Now you're going to have to take this piece off of here and undo this 14 right there. First things first. But you can also take this time to start popping off your plastics. So in order to get this plastic out, this one needs to be removed. But in order to get this one out, you got to pull this one out first if you don't want to break anything. So there's a complicated method of releasing something, or you can just do the old-fashioned grab it, yank it out. And you can see this comes up to here, so you should be able to just grab a hold of it, pop it up. I mean, don't force it. If you don't feel it coming, then, don't just keep yanking on it like a damn gorilla. There we go. Ooh, look, the cleanest part of my car. All right, now I'm just letting the seat back forward. And this panel, like I said, you got to do that 14. But the way this one goes is you just walk it. You're going to do this on both sides. Do not try to do it hard or you will crack it. Just about that far as you need to go. All right, we're going to pop this 14 off. I'm going to do chunk of food. Children. I'm using my electric gun, just doing a lot of this one-handed. So you can see it's got some washers and stuff like that. Make sure they don't fall off and you keep that. So once you have that, pull out the other rear panel, which I've already pulled. It's the same way as the front way. And then this panel is the same way. Just walk it. And there'll be, as you can see, there's clips down there. There's a blue clip. So pop that off too. soon as I find my clip thing, where'd my tool go? There you go. I mean, you could just yank it, but I'm not trying to break the clips. Once you pop them both, just pull it up. And again, put it aside. Let's see how one of the clips is still stuck here. I'm gonna need that. So I'm gonna gently pry it out. Try to get my clip. Now's a good time to vacuum down in there too. Let me come around here. Now this is your retractor. This is where your seatbelt disappears into, as you can see. So it's got one bolt here holding it in, one bolt here holding it in. There's a wire harness that goes across that's clipped into it that you need to pry out. And this has to be unplugged. This is part of your safety restraint system, or SRS. You could just unplug this and you'd probably be fine, but the safest way to do this is to unplug the battery and then let it sit for a few minutes. Honestly, I've just flat out unplugged them and haven't had an issue, but when you unplug this and then if you turn your car on with it unplugged, then it trips your SRS light. And sometimes just plugging it back in won't fix it. You have to have it reset. So the best thing to do is disconnect your battery and do not reconnect your battery until you have both units back in and plugged in. And then it won't trip any faults at all. So let's go ahead and hook the battery. So my battery's down here now because I put in that battery tray, which I will do a video on eventually. So your battery is going to be right here normally, and you need a 10mm. I need a wrench to undo mine because I have aftermarket terminals. Okay, so we got it unhooked, and we're going to wait 10-20 minutes just to be safe for everything to discharge. All right, once your time has passed, you push this forward and pull out. Just like that. Undo the bolts. This unit, we need to get up here. So push the button and pull. Kind of has to come off, and it comes off. You just have to pop those. See these right here? Yeah, they're kind of stuck in there. So squeeze it and kind of pull it out, and then you undo this bolt right here. Try not to disturb your spring mechanism afterwards. I'm not sure if this is common or not, but this had a ton of like thread locker on it. I don't know if somebody put that in or not, but I kind of fought it off. But anyway, that is the whole unit removed. So we're gonna wash our hands and go get the new one. All right. So move this out of the way. Put that in there. Okay. Oop. This is really hard to do one-handed, so we're gonna thread this back in there. Sorry. All right, so put this back in there. Threaded this back in there. Look at that. So just so you know, they reuse your buckles in these pieces. So if they're faded or dirty, they're gonna come back that same way. They don't replace them. Same with this end. But as you can see on my belt on this end, my hardware isn't there, so I'm gonna take it off the one I just took out. So that's the thing is, if you're taking these out and sending them to them, make sure all your hardware either goes with it or that you keep track of where you put it. Okay, now we're gonna put all the bolts that we took out back in. Again, sorry if this is funny angles. We're just gonna get them threaded in there. You know, tight, but not insanely tight. We're not plugging this back in yet, so don't make that mistake. Actually, I just realized the battery is disconnected, so just don't connect the battery until you've done the other side too. So to plug it in, it's push it in and then do that. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I'm not thinking straight sometimes when I'm doing this. Too many different things. So clip your harness back into there. Make sure this is tight. And then you can slip this cover back on as well. Be mindful, some of the stuff has grease on it, so if you have lighter colored belts that might be a little more, you know, susceptible to grease and stuff like that, just be careful where you touch. This thing's kind of hard to get in there sometimes, but it's in there now. Yeah, it looks cool already. All right, we're gonna put our cover back on. Back in. Make sure the other one is there as well. And there are no other clips. But if it's filthy behind the panel, now's a good time to, you know, clean it. So when we're gonna reinstall it, the same way we took it out. Find your tools. Make sure that this outside part goes over it. You want the inside part, but this goes over it. Don't trap it in behind the panel. So I need both hands to do this. Okay, we're gonna get both sides in and around before we try to punch the clips in. So just, you know, roll it back again. There we go. And once you got it past all the seals and everything, you're gonna kind of give it some taps so that those clips go back into place. The ones that we popped out down here, you can see it. It's not quite in yet. There it goes. Make sure the other side goes as well. So you know you've got it lined up when your bolt hole is centered correctly. So now we're gonna take the hardware out of the bottom of the belt. See how it has this washer? This washer is designed to keep this, whatever material this is made out of, is designed to keep the other washers and the bolt in place. So you can't really pull it off, you have to de-thread it. All right, so we have the hardware installed in the new belt in this exactly the same order. Just make sure you keep it in exactly the same order, please. But theoretically, if you sent your belts in, your belts will still have the hardware on it. And then we're going to thread it in. And we're going to use the impact gun to finish it off here. Then this cover slips down onto around it. And you have an installed belt. Let's do the other side. All right, so the driver's side is the same process in the front. Oh boy, that's a waste. Half drinking Dr. Pepper. Same process, same exact process, no different. All right, so this is a prime exact example of why. So it's protected to get all that stuff out. When I bought this thing was nasty inside, so this is not all me. But I mean, it's people's hair, dog hair, food. I mean, plus see the fraying. Not all of it is wiped by the squeegee thing. A lot of it gets down in there and it's in the belt. So let's pull the belt out further than you normally would. You can see that more stuff is coming out with it. Yes, you can clean it and maybe that will help, but I mean, not really. Like I said, the warpage of the belt is the main problem. So the retractor works just fine. It's just when it gets to a certain point and it's full, the belt is actually taking up more space on the reel than it normally would. That's the problem, because it's warped. So, filthy, yuck. Don't breathe that stuff in either. So because it was so bad in here, I'm actually using some Clorox wipes. I'm gonna wipe it out. I don't really feel like having my brand new seatbelts subjected to, you know, former occupants' skin dander and their pets and whatever else. Whatever nastiness you might come across, because the belt goes all through here. So I just want to make sure it's clean. Give her a good sanitary wipe down. Okay, we got the driver's side put in. Everything's plugged in. So we can hook up the battery now, but I'm gonna finish putting in the panels. I wiped everything down with a Clorox wipe, like I said, because it was just so gross. So make sure everything's tight, everything's plugged in. All right, now we're gonna hook the battery back up. All right, let's see what we got here. Looking sharp. Now, if you guys are wondering why I chose this color, it's because these are going to match the seats that are going in, plus it's going to match the shift boot that I have going in, plus it's going to match the rewrapped steering wheel that I have going in. So they're going to make sense. It's just, right now they seem a little bit out of place, but not really. But as you can see, they're beautiful, they're clean, nobody's boogers are on them. And the best part is, they retract. Look at that. Look at that. I don't even have to help it. I'm not gonna shut my door anymore and ding my pane anymore. So yeah, there you have it. Seatbeltplanet.com is where I got them done with. And you know, wouldn't hurt to mention that I sent you. Take care, everybody.